So Lauren and I had worked together for years, and we had planned to work on her estate documents, when she retired. When she got the diagnosis, everything kind of really sped up.
She talked to me about her decision, and she basically had said that she wanted to leave the money for pets and for seniors that couldn't afford their vet bills.
All 3 of her dogs that she adopted from Watson's Paws for the Cause. So her first dog, Stymie. This dog looked like a Dr. Seuss character. He had this weird, long, stringy tail. He had little gremlin feet. His body did not match. He was extremely overweight. And Lauren had recently lost her husband, and she said she was scrolling through Pet Finder and saw Mikey. Well, she named him Mikey. His name was Stymie at the time. And she couldn't stop laughing. And she said he just brought her so much joy, she had to come meet this dog. And so she came and adopted him. And then she had Mikey for, I think, about 8 years, and he died of pancreatic cancer, which is what her husband passed from.
That was the first dog, the pit bull. Well, her next dog, her name is Rosalie. And Rosalie is a rescue dog from Thailand. Her whole life, she was a street dog. She had never been with a family. She had never been in a home. But she took this dog in. After a while, they warmed up to each other and developed a great relationship.
She had her for about a year, and then we had a dog that came in from the shelter named Lotus that looked just like Rosalie. And the instant they met, they were the perfect match. And so she brought Lotus into her home. Unfortunately, she only had Lotus and Rosalie together for about a year before Lauren passed.
In the end, she had Rosie and Lottie, and she just kept saying, I can't imagine what people go through if they don't have funds to take care of their pets, because they were her children. But she also wanted to make sure that the funds were used prudently.
The one thing that I had told her, is to make sure you find somebody that would allocate the money and that it would go to the purpose that you want it to go to. And that's how she came up with Three Rivers Foundation.
And so we talked about how it could be in perpetuity. And her eyes lit up and she said, I can live on. And I said, yeah. She goes, I will live on helping seniors and their pets even after I'm gone. And I said, yes. And she said, I love in perpetuity. And at that point, I think she just had peace. She knew that her dogs were going to be taken care of, and she knew that she was going to help others that were going through things that she had gone through, and maybe she could relieve some of that stress or pain or financial burden for them.
One of the ways we get to work with donors is sometimes it's a referral. Our local attorneys or investment advisors may be working with a client who wants to do some planning and wants to make an impact on our community. That's how the journey started with Lauren. When Tara learned what Lauren cared about and what she was interested in doing, she knew that coming to 3RCF would be able to put those pieces in place for Lauren and pay forward her care for animals, which is what the funds that Lauren has established are doing here in our community.
So Lauren's Fund, how it will help animals in need right now. I have a little Chihuahua mix in my house that I'm fostering right now that I got a call from one of the technicians over at another clinic that said, hey, we have this little dog. She's only 10 months old. She has a broken leg and her owners are going to euthanize her because they can't afford the care. Can you guys take her on? So I said, sure. The owners surrendered her to Watson's Paws for the Cause. And because of that, now she's able to go on and live a normal full life. Her leg is fully healed. She's a little bit of a nutball, but she's very happy and able to be a normal dog. Without community donations, we would not be able to take on pets that would potentially be euthanized.
A lot of times when you live by yourself, you have isolation, and my fur babies don't make me feel that way. They've carried me through a lot. And with programs like the Pet Pantry and donors like Lauren and everybody else, through Meals on Wheels, I'm able to sustain and keep them here with me because I don't know what I would do if I wasn't able to. I just thank God and everybody else who contributes and volunteers for the Meals on Wheels and the Pet Pantry program. And again, Lauren, thank you very much. This means a lot to not just me, but everybody who has fur babies who are not pets, but are family.
Donors like Lauren go a long way in making this mission successful. Without their support and their generosity, we would not be able to do what we do.
So for the senior community, we do provide any needs that their pet might need. So that's food, vaccinations. We do go to the senior living communities and we do outreach events. So we take pets to them. Those are folks that aren't necessarily in a position where they can actually have a pet. And so it's very comforting and they just love to have a pet come snuggle with them. And then of course, any senior that comes in, we would help find the right pet for them. They're coming in thinking they want an active husky. They need like a nice calm Shih Tzu or something. So convincing them of that, but providing adoption services as well. And when needed, adoption fees would be adjusted based on the needs of the person. We can't do this without the support of the community and without the funding that we would get from Three Rivers Community Foundation.
I think 3RCF does a great job of really matching donors' intent, what they want their funds to do, and then pairing it in a very fiduciary standard. 3RCF is also an accredited community foundation, which is crucial, which means we're audited. We have financial oversight, third-party kind of checks and balances to make sure that the funds are going and doing what they're supposed to be doing. It doesn't have to be a terminal event. If this is something that you feel passionate about, do it in advance. Or give some now and leave some in your estate.
I hope that people connect with Lauren's story. I hope that they can see her philanthropy in action. I think it started for her with her care and her passion for her own animals. And through this fund and through the legacy that she's created, it's gonna help animals and seniors throughout our community. We're here to support your giving in whatever shape or form it may take.
I hope they remember Lauren's generosity. Lauren was very generous. She loved her pets. She loved all pets. These dogs, these 3 dogs, they really impacted her life. They changed her life. I think she would be very happy. She'd be ecstatic knowing that it's doing the good deed that she wanted it to do. Pay forward, give back to the community. It doesn't have to be pets or seniors, you know, there's other avenues.
The giving that we're able to do through the grants that we're giving out today, through the other giving that we help donors with throughout the year, it's growing year after year. And that only happens because donors trust us. And I just want to say thank you for that support. We couldn't do it without that foundation underneath us. And we really hope it's making a difference that everyone in our community can feel. We have a really special opportunity today. We have an anonymous donor who has stepped forward, and we are happy to share that all donations that you make today to support next year's annual grants fund are going to be doubled. If you've ever wanted your gift to keep giving, to be part of something that lasts, we'd be honored to help, because every person has a story.